I'm going to show you how to make a lumberjack cake. For this recipe I'm using 450 grams of Granny Smith apples. I already grated that. Then I have nearly 1.5 cups of dates, dried dates, and I have nearly 230 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of bicarb, 1 cup of caster sugar, and 125 grams of butter and 1 egg. This is for the lumberjack cake, and I'm going to do a topping too. For that I'm using 70 grams of butter with 1 cup of shredded coconut and half a cup of brown sugar and half a cup of milk. So I'm going to leave the topping aside at this point and going to add the dates into the apple, and into that I'm going to add 1 cup of boiling water. Into the apple and date mix add 1 teaspoonful bicarb, and into that take 1 cup of boiling water and add that into the apple and the date mix and leave it aside about 10 minutes before you start this recipe. And do the apples last minute. Don't do the apples first because then it get browns. Keep the apples and the dates on a side and add the butter and the sugar with vanilla and beat this about 2 minutes until it's nice and fluffy. Into the same mix add the egg and mix it well again. When the egg, butter and the sugar mix is ready, add the flour, and into that add the apples and the dates too. After mixing, grease 20 by 20 inch deep cake tin or a silicone mold, and now into that add the prepared apple date cake mix. After, put this in the oven 180 about 50 minutes. Now I am going to bake this on 180 about 50 minutes. After baking the cake half, make the mix for the topping. Add the milk, then the sugar and the butter into a bowl and melt the butter first. And now I'm going to add the coconut into the melted butter, sugar and milk mix. Take the cake out from the oven and pour the topping over the cake and use a metal spatula to spread the mix and put this back in the oven again about 30 minutes on the same 180. I finished baking the lumberjack cake, and insert a skewer and see whether the cake is done before you take it from the oven and firm to touch and the coconut is golden brown. So I'm going to leave this on a wire rack about 10 minutes before I take this out, and again leave it on the wire rack to cool down about half an hour before I cut that. I cut the lumberjack cake and this is how it looks like, and it's with lots of fruits and really moist. And when you make this, you can freeze this up to 3 months in the freezer, or even you can use this as a dessert later. Hope you will enjoy this recipe. Thank you for watching.